Okay, so somebody said that they have been doing the Lam-Rim meditations, and in the practice of the far-reaching ethical conduct, there's a point that seems very strange to them, and where it says that if one has clairvoyant powers, then to prove the validity of the Dharma, if all other methods fail, or to stop others' negative actions, then you should use these clairvoyant powers to do that. So they're asking, please, to explain this. So the idea is that normally the Buddha said to his disciples that they should not display whatever clairvoyant powers they had. And the reason for this is that then people would get very kind of superstitious and think that these clairvoyant powers were the purpose of the path. And they're not, okay? Because even you can get these clairvoyant powers just with concentration. You don't have to have renunciation, wisdom, bodhicitta, none of those things. So worldly people can have these powers. So the Buddha didn't want people to start thinking these powers were the end-all of the path. And also because then people would really get very strange and kind of gaga-eyed over people who had powers, and then there might be other people who are even better practitioners who don't have those powers that then the people would ignore instead of listening to their teachings. So to help people really stay focused on what the path is and on liberation, not just, miraculous things, then he said that they couldn't display their clairvoyant powers, except in a situation where they could see through their clairvoyant powers that this was the only way to convince some people about the validity of the Dharma, or it was the only way to prevent some people from doing very negative actions. In those cases, they were allowed to use their powers. So you have a situation even from the Buddha's own life. And we celebrate this. It's on the in the lunar calendar in the first month of the full moon day. And it's called the Day of Miracles. And the story behind that was that there were some non-Buddhist ascetics who had all these miraculous powers, who kept on challenging the Buddha to a contest of miraculous powers. And the Buddha kept on saying, just forget it, you guys, don't, he didn't even want to get involved in any of this. But they kept hammering and saying, oh, well, you just don't have any powers, that's why you don't want to do it. Kind of how kids taunt each other on the playground, you're a coward, that's why. So finally, the Buddha said, okay, we'll do it. And so they had the contest of powers, and of course the Buddha's miraculous powers outshone those of these non-Buddhists. And for that reason, they converted and became the Buddha's disciples. Okay? So you can see for that purpose, that was the only way to get through to those people. Okay? There's another story, I'm not sure if it's this one or if it relates to some other story, where somebody challenged somebody to a feat of miraculous powers, and the Buddhist kept on saying, no, 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 no. And finally the non-Buddhist insisted. And so when they went to have the contest, the non-Buddhist couldn't get off his chair to go to the place of the contest because the Buddhist practitioner was using his powers to keep him seated. So, but the main point here is, that you do what is best for others, and normally it is to keep these things, within oneself, and not make if you do use them, not make a big deal about them with other people, because otherwise people can get quite distracted from what's important on the path.
Is that also with the story of the Buddha doing like clairvoyant powers, somebody challenging him and like picking the skulls and trying to figure out whether people were reborn or something? I forget. Remember some story about this, and then the non-Buddhist was saying, oh, well, this person's been reborn in the animal realm, and this person's been reborn here and there, and then eventually they pulled out a skull and he couldn't figure out
I,
Or the person who's
I,
being reborn?
I don't know that story. Yeah, sorry. Maybe if you can find it, then I can make a comment on it. Okay, yeah, see if you can find it, because I don't remember that. But along this line, I have one friend who, says, well, if all of our lamas are so highly realized, why don't they show their clairvoyant powers to convince the rest of us, because then we'll have more faith in the Dharma. And I said to him, well, if they do that, then you'll just sit there and go, wow, show me more. And you won't want to practice the Dharma, because you'll be so entranced with something that seems kind of exotic.